Yeah, I have a missed call from you.
I'm sorry, 1 minute, okay?
Okay. And who is that the person that you created a group chat? Who is that?
Sorry.
Isaac, the style of your buyer, it wouldn't work.
Okay, because last time you told me you have a seller that can pay taxes for themselves, then you travel with
No,
them.
I didn't say that.
So,
No, I didn't say that. If you listen to my video explanation, I the buyer has to pay the gold because there is a value added tax on that. Yeah,
yes.
you cannot just take gold in
So,
Europe. No, you cannot. There is there is a process. The buyer needs an export documentation where the gold coming from.
okay.
Your buyer is deceiving you. Buyers buyers are liars. You must remember.
No, he's not a liar. I have his bank statement for proof of funds. So
Well, I
he's not
have
a
to
liar.
see it because I am the person who will make the decision. Then I can advise my head office that I have validated the buyer. You don't need to hide your buyer because you
That's,
wouldn't get the gold. Especially if you
yeah,
talk
yeah,
to
yeah.
Wilhelmina. Yeah.
That's why I was asking you, can I come to Syria alone? Will you help me?
Well, you tell your buyer to do the order first. You come to Sierra Leone. Yes. But you no need to
Sorry.
come to Sierra Leone without invitation. You're gonna be rejected by by my seller. You will be.
Okay. Okay, I've heard. So when will you do that invitation? Because my buyer is ready to allow me come down to Syria alone, meet you, we have a talk and see how you can
Well,
do
you
it
have
for
to
us.
let your
So,
buyer send a formal letter of interest because that's the time we can
sorry.
issue the landing visa. Your buyer has to send a formal letter of interest to purchase coming from the buyer. Then we will issue the landing visa. The reason why we do that, because when we invite the buyer would be exclusive by my seller. Exclusively, yeah, because the buyer will be
Okay.
sponsored by my head office. Yes. So I need to make sure that when we issue the landing visa, the buyer is really ready. How many quantity that buyer wants in Sierra Leone?
Like I told you earlier, for a first trial, I don't know if you can do 10 kilos.
Yeah, we can do the 10 kilos. Yes. What price is
You can do
asking
the
for?
10 kilos.
Isaac, what price your buyer asking for?
You give me the price so that I tell him now because
Where our
I'll
selling
just
price less
write it
8%.
down.
Our selling price less 8%. Whatever the world market. Whatever the world market price. Yeah. We
Uh,
don't sell cheap price, you know that. Hmm.
today gold is at 62.
No. See, just a moment. I'm gonna have a look. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I'm gonna have a look. What is the price?
Uh,
Because the price of gold changes every half an hour, Isaac. Price of gold
yeah,
is not
yeah, that I
fixed.
know.
It's not fixed. I will only fix when I'm satisfied with the buyer. Because I'm going to ask the seller to fix it. Yeah. Now the price is
Yeah,
64,600.
64,600.
That's right. Last week that was
So you are
almost
less.
66.
Okay.
So less 8%
And you are
out of
less.
that. Yeah.
That is about 56.
59. And just a moment, I'm gonna have a look on my file. Because time to time my seller updated me. Just bear with me. I'm gonna have a look. Okay. 22 carats is $59,000.
Okay.
So I don't know if your buyer can afford.
How many carats is that?
22 plus, which is 23. Purity is 97. It depends on every bar because in every bar have a different quality. That's why the gold has to be tested. Mm.
Okay, so that's 23 carats. It can't go further than that. You can maybe push it down a bit.
No, what do you mean?
I mean, you can drop the price a bit down than that.
I can do the drop the price because I have to be on the ground with the buyer. Don't you know that my services is not for free? Don't you know that? When I travel, I
Yeah,
do
I know.
charge the buyer my travel cost in order to give him a good discount. Because you know you're African. African is very hard to deal with. You know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if I'll be with the buyer, I am the extension of the seller. I have to pressure the seller to come down a little bit. I might give you buyer 13%, but I have to be on the ground.
Where are you? Are you in Sierra Leone yourself, or
No,
where are you?
I'm busy in Australia. I just been to Sierra Leone last year. I only travel to Africa when the buyer is real. Hmm.
Yeah, so me, I'm in Africa. I can get to Sierra Leone if at all you're able to speak to your office and your seller.
Well, your buyer has to send an interest because I have to validate. The seller would not entertain you. I'm telling you. I'll give you an example. There was a guy. His parents is from Sierra Leone, and he was born in United Kingdom. He flew to Sierra Leone. He's just brokering, thinking he can get the gold to bring it to Dubai. And you know what he called me? Wilhelmina, I was being offered $53,000. I said, yes, that was 4 months ago, 3 to 4 months ago. Yeah,
Uh,
he didn't get the gold. And then he asked me to be a partner with him. I said, I don't need a partner because my seller hired me to handle marketing for them. I don't need any partner. Hmm. So you can
okay.
travel to Sierra Leone if you want. Yeah. And I wish you good luck.
No, I'm not traveling to Sierra Leone without you telling me how to go up. That's why I've called. I want us to talk properly and get to an agreement on
No,
how
you
we're
have to
going to
ask the
proceed.
buyer to send me a formal letter of interest first. I have to find out whether the buyer is real or not. Yeah. Then you can travel. I can ask
Okay.
my seller to issue the landing visa. Yeah.
So, what do you want from the buyer? A formal letter of interest?
The formal letter of interest, I want to see the buyer's business registration. Where the gold to be shipped. Where he gonna take the gold?
Okay. So the gold is going to New York.
Well, New York is very strict. There's a lot of requirement because we delivered in United States. When you bring the gold to United States, the the buyer, whoever the buyer's end buyer, it needs to have a certificate that the gold is not a child labor. So I need to be on the ground because you will have no idea. United States is very strict. When the gold coming from Africa, they will scrutinize the paperwork. Yes. Hmm.
Yes, yes.
So you
That's
need
that.
you need to let me talk to your buyer so that I could advise your buyer.
No. Tell him to issue a formal letter of. Okay. Let me
Interest.
tell him to issue, yeah, a formal letter of interest.
Isaac, I think you watched my video explanation. You did, but you need to pay attention because if you're gonna shortcut, I'm telling you, you're gonna fail. 100%. Yes, 100%
Sorry.
guaranteed. You will fail. Because I met a lot
Okay.
of buyers in Sierra Leone last year. A lot. Indians, buyer from Dubai, buyer from Australia, buyer from Singapore. Failure, failure, failure.
Okay, but is there maybe a seller that can maybe sell at 50?
50?
Yeah.
No, because there's a tax. I can give the buyer, if the buyer convince me, I might able to give the buyer 55, tax included. Mhm.
Uh,
Isaac,
okay,
gold is
because
not a potato, Isaac. Gold is not a potato. When your buyer resell it to New York, he can sell it to 2%. Oh, come on. I've been to Dubai. I know The buyer will buy whatever the price of the day. The end buyer can buy to the gold trader. Your customer, your buyer is a gold trader. He buy to Africa and resell it. I understand that. And we give him a good discount. When he resell it, he become multi-millionaire. So to me, he's ripping off. Yes.
Okay.
Fair and fair. I'm very fair. In order for the buyer to convince me, I'm a good listener. I listen to the buyer's needs because at the moment, the world is in panic right now. When the price goes up, the seller will control his production. He would not sell any cheap price. There's so many cheap offer online on the group. So many. There 33, there 40. Go for it. That is only to
Speak to
tease.
the buyer. Let me see if we can.
Yeah. You have to show it to me.
Okay.
I need a copy of your buyer's business registration, importation license, passport copy, and the proof of fund. The value of 10 kilos. Yeah. I might consider a good price for him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me do that.
Without that, you are going to fail, I'm telling you.
Let me send what you've asked for now because his
Number
business
one,
registration card.
you have to send me a copy of your buyer business registration. Who is the buyer? Because I'm going to advise the buyer what he's going to do in New York because he's going to declare that. He is going to declare that in custom, and he has to provide certificate of clearance, the ownership, commercial invoice, a custom clearance. He needs to insure the gold. So I know the business, so I have to talk to your buyer. You cannot just hide your buyer because I'm telling you, your buyer will fail. I'm telling you.
No, he's not buying for the first time. He has been buying. So
Well, he knows that if he's buying for many times, he knows that gold is valuable. He knows that. He knows that there is
okay,
a value added tax. He knows that. In Sierra Leone, the value added tax is 6.5. He knows that.
You mean so the price that you want to offer is value tax added?
Tax included. I'm the one requesting the buyer I'm the one who requests the seller. Let's give the buyer tax included.
Okay, let me arrange for a Zoom meeting.
Bring the Zoom meeting and I want to see the buyer. Yeah.
Okay, let me arrange a Zoom meeting, then I'll be able to speak to you in a while.
Yeah. So don't cut
Let
corner.
me-
You are just wasting your time cutting corner.
Sorry?
You are just wasting time if you cut corner. You said that the buyer knows me. Does he?
No. I said I want to speak to him about you. I want to tell him about you. I'm not saying he knows you.
I see. Okay. How long that
Buyer is a
buyer?
public figure.
How long he was looking for gold, Isaac? That buyer.
Sorry?
How many
Sorry?
months that buyer was looking for gold?
How many?
How many months that buyer of yours searching for gold? How many months?
No, he buys. He's not been searching. He buys. He's still buying.
Where he used to buy? Which particular African country he used to buy?
No, he buys from different countries of Africa, not only one country.
Well, why not go back to his seller to get the gold? Why not talk to the other
Yes.
seller?
The seller that has been working with him may not be available now. That's why he's trying to buy. Also, you cannot just have one source.
Well, my seller is the main producer of gold. You can buy with us for 5 years contract or 12 months contract. Your buyer would not go around because we are the real. I just been to Africa, Isaac. My transaction was successful. Recently, our head office shipped the gold to Dubai, 50 kilos. And my client, he reorder another 10 kilos. Yeah. Because he already established my seller's credibility. He just called my head office.
Okay.
He needs 10 kilos. Transfer the payment, the gold will be shipped to you. Yeah. This is not C.I.F, you must remember.
Okay, let me speak to a buyer when he's awake because that time I'm sure by now he should be sleeping. I
I
don't know
think it's
what time
very
is it in
early.
your
It's
country.
very early in New York.
Yeah. So let me just give him maybe some 2-3 hours. Then he'll be awake. I'll speak to
Okay, the
him.
time here in Brisbane is 6:44 in the evening. I would be closing until midnight.
Okay, you'll be online until midnight.
Until midnight. I This is my virtual office, Isaac. This is my online virtual office.
Oh, okay.
I think you already watched me on my YouTube channel, did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so therefore you know the procedure then.
Yeah. Let me just wait for him. Then I'll call you.
All right, thanks Isaac for your call, our conversation. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I just finished having a conference with the different buyer's agent. One buyer's agent, he wanted gold from Mali, and one agent wanted gold in Sierra Leone, and one agent wanted gold in Conakry. Now, my dear buyer's agent, this business is really very, to call this, very difficult if your buyer doesn't understand. I know you are working for your buyer, and everybody come to Wilhelmina. Why you come to me? I'm the only person who put everything on the social media. The procedure is on YouTube and on Facebook. I would like to emphasize to everyone, before you come for conference with Wilhelmina, whether you act on behalf of your buyer, you need to read the full corporate offer. Because the full corporate offer, it explains thoroughly the taxes, what necessary buyer will get the export documentation, and what the buyer will supply us or provide us in order for us to believe the buyer. Now, Wilhelmina will scrutinize any one of you because I am the extension of the seller. That is the reason why you come to Wilhelmina, because you cannot find any information on YouTube or on Facebook. Most of them, they don't know what they're doing. I am here to tell the world that Africa is the main source of precious mineral. Whether you go to Nairobi, Kampala, Congo, Mozambique, Tanzania, Mali, Conakry, Sierra Leone, or Ghana, the procedure are all the same. You need to pay the gold, and you need to pay the valued added tax. The tax is the income of the country. I always mention that on every video. But most of the buyer's agent doesn't read properly, and they're gonna be excited, and then they come to Wilhelmina. It's still the same. I already explained it. I always say, go back and listen to my video explanation. Now today we are now on April 17. I just pop in because I interviewed the buyer's agent. Now, there is a buyer's agent wanted to go to Mali to outsource gold, and they need my help. I don't help anyone unless I know who is the buyer. So that buyer's agent is going to outsource gold to Mali. I said, go for it. And you walk into Department of Mines. The Department of Mines can give you the list of the seller. But the Department of Mines will not entertain you. And especially this buyer's agent, this is his first time to travel to Mali. And I told this buyer's agent, you're gonna fail. He said that he has a buyer. Well, you have to do your homework. You learn from Wilhelmina, but I'm not going to teach you. I am here to sell. My job is to interview the buyer in order for me to believe whether the buyer is real or not. Then I would determine which seller I'm going to bring the buyer. Either I'm going to bring the buyer to Conakry, Mali, and Sierra Leone. I handle 3 countries. Right. I know everyone is hungry of gold. One guy from Togo, he wanted 70 kilos. And he asked me to bring the gold to Dubai. And I told him, are you kidding? This is money you are buying. And when I found out, it's just a bunch of joker broker. Excuse me if I say this. Before you come to Alamina, you should read the full corporate offer on YouTube. Right. The price of gold, it fluctuates. Our selling price is LBMA less 8%. I only give the buyer a good discount when I'm satisfied because I have to accompany the buyer on the ground to the office so that I can assist whatever any discussion I can renegotiate. Right. And if you're just traveling to Mali, Conakry, Sierra Leone, you said you have the buyer, go for it. Because in Conakry, they would not entertain you. There are only 16 or 14 exporter list. You can walk into the government, ask for the list of the exporter. And then the exporter, the owner of the gold, would not entertain you. They will only entertain any one of you when the seller invites you. Because when we issue the landing visa, you are exclusively customer of ours. But if you are on the ground, the seller would not believe you that you are a buyer. The mentality of African seller, may I tell you, once you are on the ground, meaning to say you are window shopping, comparing prices, and you are looking for cheap price, the real seller would not give you his gold cheap price. We always base on the world market. I was the one who asked my head office to waive the tax. Right. Because we want the buyer to get a profit. But only small quantity, you would not get a profit much. But if you continue buying monthly, I can guarantee you, you will get 80% profit in a year's time, but not a short time. I'm going back to the world market just a moment because the price of gold, it fluctuates every half an hour. Now, I'm sure you are in the morning and your end. I don't know where you're coming from, but I'm in generalize. Now, here in Australia, the time is 6:55 already in the evening, April 17. I'm going to go to the world market. Okay, the price, it fluctuates. Yesterday, the price was down. Now, it bounced back again. The price of the world market price is 64,696, almost 65. 3 days ago, almost 66. Then come down to 65. Then come down to 64. So if I were you, Mr. Buyer or Mr. Broker, watching my video, you talk to Wilhelmina in a proper way so that I could give you a fixed price. Now, you're going to say, can you come down the price? Yeah, we can. But you need to convince Wilhelmina. Yeah, I was talking to Isaac. Isaac has been following my blog on YouTube and on Facebook. Still, he didn't read it. He asked for a price discount. I can give you the price discount. And his buyer wanting to travel to Sierra Leone. Yeah, we can supply you. Or in Conakry, we can supply you. So we have tons of gold. But how are you able to get? My seller in Mali shipped 3 tons 2 to 3 weeks ago. 1 ton ship it to Oman and 2 tons ship it to New York. But that is my seller existing customer. And you, when you come to Wilhelmina, you are a new customer to us. So next month, my calendar is half full. So book now. Read first the full corporate offer in front of you. Then you send me a letter of interest coming from you, Mr. Buyer. Read first, subscribe, and click below. It says show more. Read the full corporate offer first before you come to Wilhelmina. Because I put everything. I'm going to put on this YouTube platform the price of the day. but don't bank it because the price it changed. Now there is a prediction that the gold will turn to 60, 66, 2,500. Just a moment, I'm gonna get my calculator. There was a prediction from Kitco, 2,500 at any moment. 2,500 times 32.15. This could be the price. I don't know if you can afford it. 80,375. If the price of gold will turn to 2,500. Now at the moment we are now 2,000 per ounce. 2,040 per ounce. What happened if the gold will turn to 2,500 per ounce? This could be the price. I don't know if you can afford it. Now, end of this year, middle of this year, there is another prediction by Kitco. I keep on reading Kitco website. That's the best information if you want to know the movement of gold. Now, there is a prediction that gold will turn to 3,000 times 32.15. This could be. I don't know if you can afford it. So there's a lot of buyer thinking they can go to Africa and get the cheaper one. Gold is not cheap, my love. Gold is not a bread. Even bread, there is a value. And you are buying precious mineral. This is the world asset you are buying. Yeah, you are buying raw materials in order for you to refine to make into jewelry, to make into full set, to make into spare parts on laptop and computer and mobile phone. You can make it into 99.99. Why Russian military is in Mali? Why? They're getting gold. That's why the government and Russia, they are getting their friend. The Russian will protect Mali, but in return, Russia will get the precious mineral. And you are a small timer. You think you can get gold for nothing? You wouldn't get for nothing. You wouldn't get gold for C.I.F, cost insurance and freight. You would not. That is normal. You have to pay the shipping cost. That is normal. You have to insure the gold. Now, I talk to Wilhelmina. I'm very flexible. I have the power to pressure my head office that I have validated you. In order for you to get the gold from us, especially when you talk to Wilhelmina, after you read the full corporate offer, you show me your business registration, that you are a buyer. Show me your importation license. Show me your passport copy. And show me the proof of fund, your bank statement, that you have the value of 10 kilos. Okay, to start 10 kilos, our selling price is 59 at the moment. Right. Now, I can give you 13% out of 8%. Why I give you 13%? Because I'm going to accompany you and I'm going to charge you my travel cost, so that you will not be duped, so that you will not encounter disaster. So the contract has to be prepared before you travel. So if you just travel there and window shopping, thinking you can get the seller, you wouldn't get the seller. The seller would not entertain you. Why? The seller wanted you to invite. The seller will issue the landing visa exclusively for us. But if you're window shopping on the ground, you wouldn't get. I'm telling you. There was a buyer that he saw me on the group, not to mention his name, and he was in Mali for 6 months. Okay? And his partner came to me that they have a difficulty getting gold in Mali. And I told this partner, why you have a difficulty? Mali has tons of gold. No one will deal with them. And I told him, it's really very simple. When you open a company, whether you open company in Sierra Leone, Mali or Conakry, the seller would not deal with you. Why? There's a reason. When you have a company registered, it's only $7,000 you registered. The seller think that you are a competitor. The seller think that you are window shopping and getting cheap price. The seller would not entertain you because the seller is always sell the gold based on the world market price. Then we will give you 8%. That is real. No, I hope this buyer watching me. I've been to Mali, I've been to Sierra Leone, I've been to Conakry. You would never get cheap price. There's a lot of cheap offer, right? There's a lot. That buyer, that seller offer you cheap price, you wouldn't get the gold out of the country. That cheap price, maybe the gold has been stolen. They wanted to sell it cash. And then when you receive your money, they will go to the village, switch off the phone. So if there is a problem, you will never find that fake seller. They will switch off the phone, they got your money. That is the secret, I'm telling you. But if I am with you, I'm gonna bring you to the office. Because my seller has an office. You will get all the information of the seller when we respond to you. Based on your letter of interest. We will send you the contract based on your order 10 kilos. You will see all the seller's information and the banking details. Then you review the contract. Then we will send you a landing visa to travel to Sierra Leone, to travel to Conakry, or to travel to Mali. If you are from Dubai, Conakry and Dubai, there are there's an Emirate flight twice a week. I just been to Africa 2022. Every time I travel to Africa, I always stop over in Dubai. So Mr. Buyer or Mr. Broker, you would not get the gold if you're rushing. Now, I don't hunt buyers. I'm telling the world that we are here to do business. Africa is the main source of supply. Why Australian mining company is in Africa? Why Chinese are everywhere? Why? Why Chinese getting the world asset from Africa? Mr. Government, whoever you are watching me, I've been to your country. You are very rich on natural resources. Control your asset. Whoever watching me, the government official, control your asset. Because God gives you the wealth. Your country, lots of natural resources. Foreigners come to your country to get your asset. And then when they refine it, they become multi-billionaire. And you, Mr. Seller, you're still struggling, especially the small miner. My seller is rich because he owned the mines. He is very rich, but he would not give in. My seller is arrogant. One Indian was sent out. I was there. Bargain. The seller says, keep your money. So please, I'm giving you a warning. We just shipped the gold last week. This is F.O.B. This is not C.I.F, cost, insurance, and freight. Africa doesn't deal with the credit. This is cash business. So if you want to buy gold in Mali, the gold has to be assay at DNGM. And if you want KMR, yes. But you have to convince me first so that I could advise the head office. DNGM and KMR are now amalgamated. Go on the website of KMR. You can see the DNGM. They are now partner. But the KMR would not accept gold unless who is the seller. I called the KMR. So there is a lot of process. Maybe thinking you are a broker or buyer's agent, you talk to the KMR, call KMR. Now you said, I want to buy gold in Conakry, bring the gold to Central Bank. Yes, we will bring the gold to Central Bank, but you have to come to the office first. The gold will not bring to Central Bank unless you pay the gold. Because when the gold will be brought to Central Bank, the gold will not leave Central Bank. So you have to sign a contract that your order base 10 or 20 kilos. So the gold stays at Central Bank, ready for export. And the seller will show to the Central Bank to apply the certificate of clearance. And the seller will show that there is a cash flow payment enter into the seller's bank account. And then do not tell me, well, Amina, I have the buyer, bring the gold to central bank. Wouldn't work. Only the seller licensed exporter can bring the gold to the central bank. You can come to the central bank. When I asked my head office to let you come, because central bank is very heavy guarded because of the hold upping. You cannot just walk into the central bank without any appointment by the seller. Right. Last year I was in Conakry. I stayed at Kalum Hotel, the central bank across the road. And the church is across the road. Sunday I go to church because I'm a Catholic, yeah. Central bank across the church, the central bank across the Kalum Hotel. You cannot just walk into the central bank to bring the gold. You have to have a contract first. You have to have a contract and meet the CEO. I will take you to the office. You inspect first the gold. You like it, you proceed. If you don't like it, don't proceed. Yeah. But remember, when I travel with you, I do charge my extra service. I've already given you free information worth $1 billion. Information is wealth. Knowledge is wealth. There's so many joker broker come to Alamina thinking that you can earn commission. You would not earn commission unless the buyer is real. Right. So this is the world asset you're buying, Mr. Buyer. So the one gentleman, he sent me an email, and I called him. He declined to accept my call, and then he sent me the voice. He said he's going to travel to Mali. He's outsourcing on behalf of the buyer. He needs my help. I don't need a help. I don't give buyers advice. I will only advise the buyer when the buyer send me an intention to purchase. Because I'm going to analyze his letter of interest whether the buyer is real or not. I am not here to teach you guys. I am not here to babysit you. That's why I put everything online. I put the procedure, the taxes, the carats, and the purity, where the gold coming from, Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone. What necessary requirement the buyer needs, it is here in front of you. You scroll down, read it, and I will put the price of the day today. But don't bank it because the price changes every half an hour. At least you have an idea. You are buying raw materials. You are not buying refined. That is why everybody has to buy the raw materials in order to refine it. You can refine to make into jewelry. You can refine it to make into watches. You can refine to make into false-set. You can refine it to make into $1, $2. You can refine it to make into 99.99. So gold has many uses. I was in Dubai. I was inside the jewelry manufacturer. I was amazed how they smelt the gold bar to make into different uses. Yes, you will never get the real supplier if you don't know what you're doing, and you need a capital. You're gonna say bring to Dubai, bring to Singapore, we will pay after ASE. No, it wouldn't work. You never know. You are going to deceive the seller. I refrain using swindle because you are going to do that. And when you ask for the seller to bring the gold to you without any payment, that is called gold laundering. That is called you are going to leverage. Why you are going to leverage? If you don't have the money, don't be involved in this business. If you have the money, yes, we will entertain you. You have the cash, we have the gold. Very simple. Why my buyer got the gold? He traveled and she traveled with me. And you know what the buyer says? Your travel cost is worth it. Your services is worth it. He got the gold. But if I'm not around, 8% take it or leave it. But if I'm around, I might consider to give you 13% tax inclusive. Which one you like? 8% or tax inclusive? There's always tax. That is an income of the country. Mali, 7% value-added tax. That is normal. Here in Australia, our government sales tax is 10%. In Conakry, 6.5% valued added tax. In Sierra Leone, valued added tax, 6.5. That is normal. And then you evaded taxes. To me, you're a smuggler. To me, you're a gold launderer. So excuse my language if I'm very tough because this is for you, Mr. Baya. We don't muck around, especially Wilhelmina. Everybody's scared of Wilhelmina. Why are you gonna be scared with me? I'm not going to harm you. I am here to be with you, Mr. Baya. But if you are secretive, meaning to say you are a swindler. You don't want to reveal who you are. When you come for conference, you don't open your camera on WhatsApp. You're hiding. Most of the brokers, they're hiding their faces. Why are you going to hide your face? To me, you're a smuggler. I don't hide my face. Can you see, Wilhelmina? This is my virtual office. I am the extension of the company. I have the power to say yes or no. I have the power to negotiate the price for you. And you don't need a security guard because I always travel to Africa. I don't need a security guard. You don't need to go to the village. You come to the hotel, to the office, stay in the hotel. You come to the office, inspect the gold, then transfer the payment after you inspect. Then the gold will brought to the central bank if you want Conakry. Then in Mali, you inspect, ask the gold to the in JM, you pay the gold bank to bank. You wait for 8 working days. In Sierra Leone, the gold will be tested at GGO. Simple as that. You do your research, Mr. Buyer, before you come to Wilhelmina. And you, Mr. Broker, you do your research. Don't depend on Wilhelmina because Wilhelmina giving you a vital information in order for the buyer not to be deceived because there's so many sellers are deceitful as well. You can be deceived, I'm telling you. Seller will say, come, come, come. And if he get your money, he will switch off the phone. Then he go to the village, your payment, tralala. I'm telling you, I've been to Africa many times, so I know ins and out. So deal with us, Mr. Buyer. I'm telling you, you gain knowledge from this woman in front of you. I don't muck around. I'm honest. Some joker doesn't like me. They said, well, Wilhelmina is a scammer. I don't know how much I scam this bastard. Excuse me if I say this. There's so many people hate my guts. That's not my problem. That is their problem. I used to be on LinkedIn. I get out on LinkedIn because there's so many joker broker. They hate my guts. So be it and good luck to them. Most of my buyer coming from YouTube. Most. And Facebook. 98% coming from YouTube channel. The best. Why the best? Because I put everything. I explain. So you have to pay attention from the beginning to the end. Don't rush because I'm not interested to be excited. I would be excited if you show me your business registration, importation license, passport copy, and the proof of on your bank statement that you have $1 million or $500,000. Without that, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it at all. So thank you very much, Mr. Baya. This morning and this afternoon and evening, I have several interview. Reject. I would be in Dubai. I'm waiting for the big buyer. He already saw the procedure and he showed me his business registration. He's from Dubai. He's wanting to get tons of gold. Now, this buyer, he's been looking for gold for many months, but I give him the chance. I told this buyer, okay, you're looking for tons of gold. You can compare prices to prices. When you're ready, you come back. Then I will accompany you to Mali or Conakry. I'm not forcing you to buy from us. If someone offer you undervalue, go for it. Then you're waiting for disaster. There was a person, I'm not going to mention the person with their male and female. And this person traveled in Dubai several times. And this person know me. And he deal with the seller in Conakry, Sierra Leone, and Mali. The gold didn't arrive. And this buyer was promised that the gold will be shipped to Dubai. Stuck in Dubai. And this person returned to the country of where that person stay. Mhm. And that person knows me. Another American, I always mention to this example so that you, Mr. Buyer, would not be trapped when you travel. Mhm. Another American, he went to Kampala. I think I mentioned this on my previous video. I advised this American guy, don't travel to Kampala because you have only $40,000. And he said, Madam, I meet an Indian partner. The Indian partner said, no, you don't need to pay, just pay taxes. And I told this American guy, I doubt. So he went to Kampala, traveling to Congo. He was being excited. So, Madam, I'm here in Kampala, boundary of Congo. I'm getting gold. I told him, good luck. 35 kilos, he only gave $10,000 to pay taxes. And I told this American guy, yeah, you're a fool. $10,000 is not enough to pay the tax on 35 kilos. And they flew to Dubai together with this Indian. That Indian is crook. His partner is crook. What happened? He was stuck in Dubai for 3 years. Every time I arrive in Dubai, because I always stop over in Dubai, I always invited him for lunch and dinner and breakfast. I'm feeding him. Before he was being deported last month, I sent him $450 just to buy food because he was homeless. And I told him, you better go home to America. Madam, my passport was being confiscated. Call your embassy. Then you will be given a document. Now he was being deported. I told him, good. He was being escorted by the police in the airport, deported to California. I told him, good. Now he's now in America. So you guys thinking you can get the gold, I'm telling you, you're going to be burned out your pocket and your fingers if you don't have capital. I know you've been running around from group to group on WhatsApp. Good on you. And I wish you good luck. If you learn from my toughness, you're a winner. If you don't learn from my toughness, you're a loser. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. I will put the price today, but don't bank it. Keep watching the movement of gold every half an hour. Now, before I'm going to close, just a moment. The time now is 7:20 in the evening. I'm going to look at the world price. Just bear with me. Now, the price is 2,011.42 per ounce. Use your calculator. Times 32.15 equals. I want you to do your homework. I don't want you to feed more food. There's a saying, in a plate, you have a nice food and you have a spoon and fork, but you don't know how to use the spoon and fork and you don't know how to put that into your mouth and then the food will fall over. Buying gold, exactly the same. Wilhelmina is giving you food in your mouth, but you are not listening. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. I shall see you when you are ready, when you understand what you're watching on this video and read the full corporate offer. Then I will entertain you. Then I will believe you're a buyer. Does that make sense? Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good afternoon to you, good morning, and good evening to me.